Where's home for me? Well, if you've ever met me ever, you probably already know that I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I love Charleston so much. I live on a marshy area of Charleston, South Carolina. I live on the marsh side of Folly Beach with my mom. And then if I'm with my dad, I am in the old village, which is surrounded in oak trees. And it's kind of scary to drive on streets over there because the streets are so small and there's so many oak trees, but it's so beautiful and so worth it. A lot of those oak trees are on roads on the way to my favorite sushi places, because sushi places, sushi bars and stuff, I love as well. And that are, I kind of feel at home sometimes because I love food so much. So I go to a lot of sushi places back home, and I equate certain sushi spots with being at home and being comfortable in my favorite city of Charleston, South Carolina. But the landscape is beautiful. At my mom's house, my favorite spot to take a nap is right in the living room on the couch, overlooking the water and the marsh as the tides come in. And in the morning, most of the time, the water looks like glass. It's completely still, and the birds are barely chirping, and it's beautiful. That is actually where I saw the eclipse over the summer, and it was so beautiful. We could see the eclipse from our very own porch, which is with the backlit of the marsh, which was so cool. And home for me is where my animals are. If you notice, there are a lot of pictures on here of my animals. So the fluffy dog, the tan and white one, is Dingo, like the dingo ate my baby Dingo. And the cat, his name is Chipper, and he's the gray little kitten who's very fat at the same time as being small. And the black and white dog is Lassie, who I've had for 14 years and who I love to death. And the yellow little lab mix is Buddy. And the two of them, those two dogs, live at my dad's house, and Dingo and Chipper live at my mom's house. And so home for me is really all over Charleston. I think that's why I love it so much, because I haven't even included that I used to live at my grandparents' house for 7 years in Charleston, downtown Charleston, and that was home for me. But another home for me is where my friends are. I spent 2 years, so half of my high school education, at the Governor School of the Arts and Arts and Humanities, not science. And I spent 2 years at Governor School of the Arts and Humanities, and that really became home for me. That was where I spent the majority of my time. I lived away from home for the first time, and I really fell in love with Saucus Theater, which is pictured here, and with my studio mates who went to Chicago with me and had my back for 2 years, and who, they're a part of my family. They're another part of my family. And of course, there's my best friend Claire, and she's pictured in so many of these pictures. She now lives in Charleston, and I met her at Governor School, and she's my best friend. And then there's my cousin Libby, who is my absolute best friend as well, and she's my sister. I have no idea what I would do without her, and so she's pictured in a lot of these pictures. And I've also included some of the things I've done around town, like gone to women's marches and performing around town and just being at home where my family is. I also have included pictures of a lot of my family, not all of them, but specifically of eating dinner with my parents and spending time with my mom and my animals with her. And food really is a part of my home and a part of my home's culture. And so when I make that joke about sushi bars, I'm not kidding. Like, food is such a huge part of my life, especially at home, that it has to have a cameo experience. But I love where I'm from, and the landscape is just beautiful, and I would give anything to be able to walk out on the marsh right now.